is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place where you can drive the new 2025 Acura RDX for only $399 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
There's just one place where you can drive the new 2025 Acura Integra for only $289 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231. And Plantation, consultation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodyasdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
We're celebrating a new year with new savings at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Save big on a 24 Corolla, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. We're bringing you deals that strike fast and hard at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. We are working overtime. Yeah, we work harder than Jimmy Butler does. That's why Jimmy Butler is out of here. Yeah, baby. This had to be done. You had to tear the scab off. You couldn't bring the cancer back. Is it the best deal that you could get? No. But it's the best deal that you could get at this moment because, unfortunately, the guy torched his value. The fact, I got to tell you something. I don't know why Golden State wants the guy. But at least he got a first rounder. They got to stick with Wiggins for a couple of years, unfortunately. Are we hoping that Wiggins plays his best basketball like we do with every other player that becomes a Heat player? Of course, but he has a little bit of slacker in him. He has potential to be a hell of a player. Maybe he can play his best basketball here. So while he's here, I'll tell you this. He's going to try a hell of a lot more than Jimmy Butler does during the regular season. Is he a better player? Of course not. Let's not get into that shit. It's not what it's about. We're past that. You didn't give up any young players, okay, which is awesome. You got a first rounder. So depending on what happens, whether you make the playoffs or not, you could have a couple of picks this year, and they can draft now. Okay, so PJ Tucker becomes a free agent. Anderson is whatever. So they're above the luxury tax, $7.8 million, above the first apron, $3.1 million. They still have till 3:00 tomorrow. They can make some other moves. I've been saying there's another move they should make. But, hey, that's just me. He scored 30 points today. Not necessarily the most efficient game, but he scored 30 points today. No, he did. 5 of 11 shooting today, so that was good. He did have 7 turnovers. Bam also had 7 turnovers. Both guys had 14 turnovers today. They were a little loosey-goosey with the basketball. You know what I'm saying? So you had to do a deal. You cannot put it in his court, okay? Because if you put the ball in his court and in the summer you don't make a deal this year and then he just wants to pick up the option, now you're stuck with that shit again for a whole year. So they did what you had to get rid of them. And it's good for the guys, the young guys. Let them start to grow. Let's find out who they are. You know what I'm saying? You already see it that, they need a little toughness. They're not tough enough yet. You know, they're not a team. They don't resemble anything on the defensive side of what Heat basketball has been under Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra, right? So that's definitely a way that this team has to improve. I've been saying that the last few years is kind of resembling of the 80s Dolphins, and now they're starting to become soft like the Dolphins. So, you know, they got to get back to being a hard-nosed team. And that's something that they definitely need on this team. They need to get it a little tough. So Wiggins will have he has a little dog in him. He can dog it, and he has a little dog in him. It's just one of those things. But you had to do it. You had to take, and in 26, you'll have more cap space and all that kind of stuff. And so hopefully, you know, you'll be able to do something with it. By the way, we are hoping to get Ira Winderman. He's still working and all that. He's working the locker room. He's talking to players. So he's you know, if he can reach out to us, then he'll join us for a couple of minutes and we'll get his thoughts fresh from the locker room. I'm trying to reach out to somebody else on short notice too tonight to see if I can get them on, but we'll try. But I did want to do something because I'm not on till 3:00. And this was a pain in all our asses. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what we got on the chat board there. Ray Sosa. And by the way, folks, we just did a Crypto Bro Show, so go check it out. Hit the like button, watch it, you know, help the channel grow. Even if you're not a big crypto fan later on, just let it play and walk away or something, you know. Ray Sosa, fair return the Heat got back for Jimmy. At this point, dude, they're not going anywhere. So to me, the trade was a waste for them. And they gave the idiot an extension. Are you kidding me? They gave Butler a 2-year, $121 million extension. They are stuck with the bum through 26-27. So he declined the player option, and he got a 2-year extension. They were stupid enough to give him another $120 million. Since their GM left, the guy that's on ESPN, they do a lot of stupid things. That extension for Draymond Green was moronic. You got to know when to say when, and you know, you got to know when to pull out, man. You know, if not, you'll be stuck with like 87 kids like Tyreek. All right, let's see. No Doubt says, bye, Felicia. Sneak Attack, the Warriors are giving you a 2-year extension to Jimmy. Yeah, I know. It's wait till he won't even finish this season, dude. His little body's going to break down a bunch of times. Let's see. Joey R., thank you for coming and supporting us, Joey. Thank you. Horn Dog, I hate the trade, but glad Jimmy is gone. Hopefully these are expiring contracts. Well, they've got a couple of years on the Wiggins deal and the Anderson deal, so we'll see what happens. Big O pushing overtime. Yes, sir. Thank you for pushing overtime, Captain Saki, and being here with us. Cosa Nostra says, please answer our prayers. Tyreek. That's a whole different ballgame. They got no shot there. You can pray all you want, but those prayers aren't going to be answered. Lewis says, players that come to the Heat culture tap into a whole different level. Unpopular opinion, but a healthy Andrew Wiggins has potential to surpass Butler's potential here. No. I hope I'm wrong, but no. I hope he's just a decent player for Miami and, you know, can play hard every night and do some of the things he's never done in his career. You know what I mean? I want consistency from him like I've never seen in his career. That would be nice. I'm not asking him to be better than what Jimmy Butler was. Dude, that was a great run with Butler. You have to, as a fan, as an organization, Miami Heat, you have to compartmentalize some of this stuff and the Dolphins. And it gets to a point where you've got to let go of your emotions, bring your head into the game and say, what is the logical thing to do here? Truly logical thing. And then that's what needs to happen at times. And it doesn't happen. It has to happen with fans too. And we should have parted ways with this guy a couple of years ago. But the problem is we get enamored with the run, and it was a beautiful run. But we lie to ourselves. Why do we lie to ourselves? You got to the finals one year because it was the bubble year. So it was like a different dynamic, and you had like the right mix. And unfortunately, the injuries kind of really derailed you from surprising and shocking the world in a short season that you could have won it. You had the right opponent and everything that year, but the injuries derailed you. But then the other year, you get there just because Embiid is injured, and so is Giannis. It's not because you were really that good. And that's the reason why when he came up for contract after that, I said, now's the time. And we have to do that as fans. We have to learn when we have to part ways with people. And that's something that it's a battle that I've noticed over the years, that it's really hard for fans and some front office people. And I look at Golden State. Dude, you had to know that Draymond Green's days were done already. And you gave him that extension. And I'm sorry, you can't keep rewarding people for past. That's costing you against the cap and hurting your team. You know what you tell Draymond? You trade him somewhere else, and you tell him, hey, Draymond, listen, whenever your career ends, you've got a job for life. Come on over here. You can work with us. You want to learn front office, all that kind of stuff. You do stuff like that. That way you can pay him a salary. It's a lot less. It's not against your cap. It doesn't help you. But, you can still be professional and keep that relationship. But as long as you keep tying yourself to that player that can no longer produce, and you keep rewarding them for past accomplishments, that doesn't work out. And the Warriors now are going to give this guy $120 million for what he did a few years ago for us. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, dude. They're not even going to get the player that they're paying for. They have no idea that they have been conned right now by Jimmy Butler. They have been absolutely conned because they are desperate to end, Steph's career in a bang. Oh, baby. Yeah. Butler and Draymond Green in the same locker room. Oh, adversity's gonna be fun. Fun. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Oh, man. Lewis, we lost top 5 player in the playoffs. Oh, Lewis, can we get you a Kleenex? Will you be all right, sweetheart? Will you recover? Huh? Will you sleep tonight, Lewis? Are you going to hug that teddy bear a little tighter? No will, but we got a Wiggs. Brandon Ortega, whose 2025 pick is the Heat getting from the Warriors? I think it's the Warriors. I'm not sure. Somebody can look that up. I don't have a producer right now. But I think it's the Warriors pick, actually, if I'm correct. We need Michael Beasley back. Lewis wants weed, too, so he can sleep. Joseph is in the house. Jimmy Gunn is good for the Heat. You are correct. John Padilla. Wadim Smirnov, buy low. That's what Golden State Warriors want the guy. Yeah, they really bought low. Zachary Gibbons, good win for the Heat tonight after the fourth quarter loss to the Bulls. Yeah, that was bad, the loss to the Bulls. That Paul George trade, that Paul George move. Wow. Anyway. Yeah, I saw the Irv Gotti thing, Terrence. Yeah, man. Very screwed up. Ragin is in the house. The pain in the butt is finally gone. Yes, he is. Josh, what's up, oh? Thank you for Jimmy and the memories. Exactly. Ray Gruyong, hit the road, Jimmy. Don't come around here no mo. Jose M, what a disgusting trade. We got trash back. No, you unloaded the trash. You cannot risk getting stuck with him next year and then nobody wants him and then you're stuck the whole thing. You had to do this, bro. You had to do this. So you're stuck with Wiggins another extra year and then you'll get through it. And 2026, you can start to open up some space. Like I told you, the Miami Heat want to try to get some more picks by 3 o'clock tomorrow. If they're savvy, if that front office is back at being like Eye of the Tiger, they move Tyler Hero for a couple of first rounders or more. Somebody needs a shooter. That's what they should do. Let's see. It needed to happen. Now this opens up flexibility in 26 and growth for the young kids. Hopefully by then Anthony Edwards would be available. That's the whale. There you go. All right, Castle. I like your thinking. I don't know about the Anthony Edwards stuff. The whole stupid Durant thing. What is wrong with you people out there? Well, why do you entertain stupidity? You had no shot at Durant the first time around or the second time around. You know, at least the Dolphin fan, like they had Drew Brees there. They had him. They chose Jamar Fletcher, but they had Drew Brees. And then they had Drew Brees the second time in free agency, and they chose Culpepper. They could have chose Brees. Now, the Dolphin fan can realistically be pissed. What the hell is wrong with you Heat people out there, some of you? De'Aaron Fox, Durant a few years ago, now Durant again, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, why do you people do all this stupid, silly shit to yourselves? You never had a chance at any of those people. You don't have the price to play poker, and you people continue, and the media entertains stupid trade after stupid trade when there's no fucking chance that was ever going to happen. Why do you people do this to yourselves? I don't understand this. It's been going on for years now. You have this delusional state. Like you think every star wants to come here. Nobody wants to come here, dude. Nobody wants to come here. Dwayne Wade brought them here. Nobody wants to come here. This isn't a destination that people are dying to line up. They don't give a shit about Miami. You know what they give a shit about is getting paid. You know what they give a shit about? The teams that are going to trade you the player? Picks. They want something in return. The Miami Heat are as poor as some of the people that walk the streets right around that arena. You go to the Camilla's house a couple blocks away, that's the fucking Miami Heat in the NBA every time they're trying to make a trade. And you idiots out there think they've got pots of gold. They've got no first rounders. They've got no cap space. They've got no sexy players. Nobody wants anything they've got to sell. What the hell is wrong with you people? That's why you never get anybody anymore. And the only reason you got LeBron, Bosh, and Butler is because of Wade. The last time Riley got a whale, the whale actually was a whale because Shaq weighed 400 fucking pounds and had a bad toe. And they told his fat ass to get out of Los Angeles, like they told Luka's fat ass to get out of Dallas. What is wrong with you people? I don't understand all this Durant stuff. And you people get baited into it, and hosts are doing segments on it and talking about it and entertaining it, and writers are writing about it and writing about stupid trades on Twitter, and you idiots are retweeting and talking about it when you got no fucking chance. Do you guys have any idea who the Heat organization is right now? In the last 10 years, when it comes to making moves, there is no dog in the front office anymore. Okay? Pat Riley lost his fastball a while ago when he approaches LeBron James with Danny Granger and Bob. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you people see the writing on the wall? Do any of you live in reality there in Heat Nation? I've never seen a more delusional fan base thinking that their shit doesn't smell when your shit is the fucking sewer. Jesus Christ, bro. Wake the hell up out there in Heat Nation. Stop playing with yourselves. That's what you people do. You don't get laid, you're playing with yourselves, and you know nothing. Nobody wants to come here, dude. This isn't a destination. It's a no-tax state, and you need to have the goods to pay for it, and they have nothing. That's why they're the bridesmaid and never the bride anymore. This is why they got to now deal with Wiggins for a couple of more years. It's one shit deal after another shit deal. And you got to get through it. And I feel terrible for Spo because you give Whiteside a contract. You give Dion Waiters when he needs an ankle surgery a contract. This is the shit we've been dealing with for 10 years. And you're lucky you got Spo that makes all of this look better than what it really is. Because in the front office, they have been mediocre as hell. So tonight we celebrate because we got rid of a turd. But it's not because, oh my God, freedom, and now we got this great team. No, we got a bunch of young guys that aren't ready yet. They get pushed around. They're soft. They ain't got nothing right now. There's no leaders there. Bam ain't no star. Tyler ain't no star. Those aren't number ones or number twos. Those guys are threes on their greatest days ever. They might be a three. That's what they are. Come on, man. Let's wake up. Wake up. Donovan Mitchell don't give a shit about this place. He went to Cleveland, bro. He went to Cleveland. For him, Cleveland rocks. The Heat, they can kick rocks. So wake up. What the Heat have to do is amass first-round picks. What the Heat have to do is get cap space, get liquid. That's how they get in the game. Nobody gives a shit about him anymore. Nobody cares about Pat Riley's 5 rings anymore. That's for me and us old guys. Those kids don't give a shit about Pat Riley anymore. Believe it or not. The agents, they don't care about Pat Riley. You got to have the goods. You need the poker, and you got nothing. Every single time you walk in and you got bunny rabbits. That's what you do. You walk into the casino and just whip out the pockets. Bunny rabbits. That's what you got. Nothing. You got nothing but lint. Come on, man. So get off this high horse. Whatever you think the Heat organization was. Not is. It's what it was. Okay? That's it. They're living off the past. And so are you. So stop thinking you're getting anything. Nobody gives a shit about you. Wake up. Wake up. I saw that Durant stuff, and it's like, man, you people are children. Like, so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Anyway, what else do we have here? Oh, I feel bad for O's wife and his daughter. They are trying to sleep, and they hear, it's soundproof the room. They can't hear it. The Heat have no dogs. And by the way, they're not asleep yet. The Heat have no dogs on the team after trading their best player away. Well, but the best player is not the best player anymore. He doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to try. He hasn't been playing hard in the regular season for 2 years and a half almost, pretty much, right? That's where we're at. What are they? They won today, so they're 25-24. Yeah. 46 games. So you're over the halfway mark. For 2.5 seasons, the guy hasn't tried. So he needed to go. I will never forgive Riley for re-signing Tyler Johnson, Josh Johnson, waiters, and what. Yeah, it's just the things that he's done in the last 10 years has been, it hasn't been good. He has not been good, and I hope he redeems himself. But the problem with Riley is he keeps trying to put a Band-Aid. He keeps putting lipstick on a pig, and he doesn't completely reset. And in this league, with all these stupid aprons and all this shit, and you don't have an owner that's willing to just pay taxes. You have an owner that is willing to screw with your head coach, screw up the chemistry of the team, and put a poison back in there instead of just acting like a real billionaire and saying, yeah, I effed up, but I'm going to send this asshole home and I'll pay him. And he didn't do that from the get-go, which is what I would have done to him. I would have acted like a real billionaire. And so you don't have like a billionaire that is a billionaire. You have a billionaire that acts like a millionaire. Okay? You want a billionaire acting like a billionaire? His name is Stephen Ross. You want a billionaire acting like a billionaire? The Moss Brothers, baby. They build a stadium for fun in Fort Lauderdale. For fun. They spent $180 million for fun and built an academy. And now they're building the real stadium. And they bring Messi and they do everything and they spend money up the yin-yang. That's a billionaire acting like a billionaire. Mickey Harrison's a billionaire that acts like a millionaire. So that's another hurdle that you have in the whole thing. And now with the whole apron, that makes it even harder for the billionaire to ever even act like a billionaire. You see the guy with the sons, he's a nutbag. He's willing to act like a billionaire. Open your eyes. See what's going on. Stop thinking of the Heat organization in the state that you think they're at. And they're not, bro. The head coach is the only thing elite there, bro. The head coach. After that, there's a drop-off. Like 90 degrees. So, if it wasn't for Eric Spoelstra, oh my God. Pat Riley's about to be 80. Time for him to enjoy it. No, I'm not pushing him out. He can leave whenever he wants, but I'm going to be honest about it. He doesn't have his fastball. He hasn't had it for a long time. But he can end whenever he wants. I'm not doing the ungrateful thing, Jose. I'm glad Larinaga went on his own and he understood I can't do it anymore. I'm out. I'm glad that Ron Frazier left on his own. Jim Morris left on his own. What we did to Shula, nah, Bubba. So, Jose, you're on your own boat, bro. I ain't pushing Riley out, but I'll say Riley isn't Riley right now. He hasn't been Riley in a long freaking time. But the last 10 years, very mediocre to average, to be quite honest. But there's no pushing Riley out on my behalf, no. But I'll call the Heat organization out for what it is, because I'll call the Dolphins out, I'll call the Marlins out, I'll call Inter Miami out, whatever. I'm calling Messi out, bro. You can't have the best team in the history of the MLS and you can't get out of the first round. Get your choking ass back into the playoffs and do something. So we call out everybody, okay? Because it ain't Moss's fault. I'm blaming Messi. Choke ass bitch. Let's go. What else do we got here? Getting rid of the garbage is hopefully the start of rebuilding those assets. They need more assets, bro. They don't have assets. They need more. Let's see. Rather have another role player in Wiggins than a cancer on the bench. I agree, no doubt. I agree. And you might have been stuck with him for one more year in this whole circus, and you have a billionaire that'll force you to play him and ruin your team and make it life harder on your head coach. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Jimmy is out like a fart from True Fin Fan. And he stunk like a fart from True Fin Fan. PJ Tucker, third. I know, but he's a free agent at the end of the year. So it's kind of like a rent a player for a couple of months. Whatever, bro. They'll get rid of him. It's not a big deal. What else? Pat even traded draft capital for Dragic back in the day. Yeah, it was like several first-round picks. 2 or 3 of them, if I remember correctly. Let's see what else. So what we do if he lives to 100? Again, Jose, I'm not doing that, bro. You didn't pay attention. I'm not going to be an ungrateful dude to somebody that's brought us all the championships. You know what I'm saying? I'm not shitting on Ron Frazier. And we did it to Shula. And when Shula left, has it been any better? Shula's worst days are better than most of the years that we've ever had since. Okay? The best days we've had since Shula are Shula's worst days. So you never know what's coming. I can play the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? What's coming after Larinaga? Is it going to get any better? Did it get Jim Morris did a good job. Was he Ron Frazier? No. See what I'm saying, Jose? So if you assume the next person is going to be better, put it this way, Jose. If you think the next person is going to be better than Riley, eres tremendo come mierda. Since you're Jose y hablas español, if you think whoever comes after Riley is going to be as good or better, eres tremendo come mierda. Pero sendo come mierda. Un reverendo come mierda. Am I clear on that, Jose? Because I'm functional in 2 languages. Just in case, Jose, si me entiendes. No estoy seguro. You know, not sure. If I'm being like honest and telling you que estás hablando mierda. Are we being clear now, Jose? We good about that? Okay. Anyway, should the Heat have kept Kyle Anderson from that trade? I don't know, bro. Whatever. He would have helped out a little bit. What up? Why is Florida sending its trash this way? Oh, wait a second. I don't care for basketball anymore. Jamie Zoria. Look, the future looks bright for the Heat. We got draft capital and money next 2 years, so we're going to be good again. Just give us time. Yeah. I don't know if there'll be a championship because, Frankie, they need stars, Bubba. You know, when Riley was rolling and MJ was cock blocking everybody, you had stars. You had Zoe and you had Timmy. You know what I'm saying? You had stars. Zoe goes down, you bring in Mason. You know, you had stars, and then you had Shaq and Wade, and then you had the big 3. You know, when you've had the big success and you've been one of the better teams in the league, you were led by stars. You start to look at the team right now, there are 0 stars. So Jovic, Tyler or Bam aren't stars. That's done. That's over with. Those guys will never be stars. They'll never be franchise players. That's proven over and over and over again. They would have already become that already at this point in their career, and they're not that. They're never going to be that. So the question is Jovic a star? I like him. I like him a lot, actually. I like the Ware kid. But they got to take several steps to get to the point that we need them to become a Wade, become a Shaq, become Alonzo Mourning, become Tim Hardaway. That's what we need. Become Jimmy Butler at least. Jimmy Butler is like the worst star we've had out of all those guys. you know? So they need stars on this team. They don't have stars. And that's the problem, Frankie. They can have a nice team. They have a great coach. He'll mold them. He got a bunch of scrubs to go 31-10 in the second half of a season. Nobody's a better coach than Spoelstra, but we keep asking him to squeeze blood out of a rock. And that's wrong. You know? How do we still see Wiggins fitting in? I think he'll be fine, dude. I think there's a place for him on this team. He'll bring a little edge to defense, by the way, something that will help out because he can get a little down and dirty. The problem is, will he be consistent? You know. What else do we have? People wanted Marino and Shula out, and look what happened. Exactly, dude. Remember, trade Marino because we got Scott Mitchell. Que clase come mierda. You know, come on. You know. What else do we have? Jovic was super efficient tonight. He was. His line today, he had 23 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and he only had 3 turnovers. Whereas Bam and Tyler both had 7 turnovers each. I agree with you. I like Jovic, man. I like the Ware kid also. I like him, man. They got a little dog in them. I like Pallel Larson. You know what I'm saying? But again, I like Jaquez. I think he's got something in him. He brings a different type of game that can complement the people that can spread the offense. You know what I'm saying? But we have to play these kids and let them fail and let them get frustrated and let them get down by 15 and 20 and have to come back and have big leads and blow them and have blowout games where they win by a ton. We need to measure them all the way through and see what they've got. And that's one of the beauties now of what we got here left in the rest of this regular season. They got a chance to make the playoffs. And then, hey, show us what you can do and see if there's a star there. See if somebody starts to rise. See if maybe I'm wrong, dude. Maybe Tyler, is on the brink of becoming something. I don't know, whatever. But we'll find out if they can actually do it. Probably would be Jovic, the guy that I would bank on because he's multifaceted. I really like him. He's got a little sum to, and he's got an edge to his game. He plays with no fear, which I love that. Zachary Givens says we have a good young core, but if we could get 1 or 2 alpha dogs, then you can talk champ. Yeah, we need stars. Yeah, I'm with you, Zachary. But the only way they get a star, Bubba, they got to load up on picks because they're going to want 3, 4, 5 first rounders, something Miami doesn't have. You're going to have cap space, something that Miami doesn't have. They're on one apron, and they always got an owner that's kind of like worried about so much the taxes and all that kind of stuff. So, you hear it in the writers' writing over the years where it's constantly mentioned the taxing and all that stuff. And so, he's a billionaire, but he doesn't really spend like a billionaire. Bam is your Giannis checker and Hero is your scorer. How many franchise players are there? If you think any of those are franchise players, Weidler, I'm sorry, bro. You have a very low standard in basketball. Let's see. Big O, I sent you a couple of emails to chat crypto with you. I'm wondering if you received them. Yeah, I did. I got them, and it's hard to answer those questions just on a let me see it here. Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Let me get this quickly for you, man. You were asking about how do you know what exchange has the best prices on a particular coin? They're usually right around the same. Okay. What I would do for a beginner is start on swan.com is what I would do, my brother. Okay. Or on Cash App or on Venmo, where on Venmo you only buy, there's only really Bitcoin and Ethereum. On Cash App, there's just Bitcoin, and on Swan, it's only Bitcoin. And you can see the prices right there between all of them, but there's also a small service charge. So that's where the prices aren't going to be. Now, if you go to crypto.com, that one might be a little higher, a couple $100 extra. Like if you're buying it at 97,600 in one place, maybe at crypto.com, it's 97,900, something like that. So, and remember, you want to move everything. You want to collect a sum there and then move it over to your Tangem wallet. So get a Tangem wallet, TANGEM.com, TANGEM.com. Get the 3-card option. Learn how to use a cold storage wallet. Go to YouTube and whatever exchange you're using. If you're going to use Swan or you're going to use crypto.com or you're going to use Binance or Coinbase or Uphold, you can find videos on YouTube that'll tell you how to send crypto from Uphold to Tangem, from Coinbase to Tangem, from Binance to Tangem, from Swan to Tangem. And you can just follow the videos and it'll teach you. Do your homework, man. It's a lot of stuff. Don't get intimidated. It's well worth it. Let's see. What else do you have? Jimmy should have said yes to the Memphis trade. He wanted money, bro. And Memphis wasn't willing to give him an extension. And he thought that Phoenix was the only one willing to give him an extension. And then he found the Golden State Warriors that they would be stupid enough to give him an extension. And so Miami got rid of the headache for a first rounder and a Wiggins, basically. That's it. They had to get rid of this headache, man. If it stretched out into next year, it would have been just terrible. Guys, if we can't get stars in free agency, all we need is to draft well and find a star just like what we did with D Wade. Yeah, but that was at number 5. Okay? Number 5. At 13 and 15 and 18 and all that, you can find them. Don't get me wrong. Hell, you might find one in the second round, that slips through the cracks and the kid becomes a star. But really, you gotta have those early picks, man. And that hasn't been our luck, Frank. When they're in the lottery, they just never. And the year we get it, we get the stoner. Crazy, man. Crazy. Anyway. Oh, man. What else do we have here? 25 to 30 years of this will be just like the Finns. It's interesting. The last 10 years of the Heat remind me of the 80s of the Dolphins. For those of you that didn't catch that on my show, on my daily show, they've been to the NBA Finals recently, last 2 years. And they had 1 year was the bubble year. The other year, they had the breaks. Well, you kind of look at the 80s. They had the strike year, and they got there, and then they got, they weren't ready to really compete with Washington. They weren't good enough. And then against San Fran, that was really bad. But they've had some success. And if you look at the Dolphins, if you really look at it, the 80s are better than the 90s. The 90s are better than the 2000s. The 2000s to 2010s are better than 2010 to 2020. It's like every decade's gotten worse. So you wonder over this last decade, it's not better than the decade prior. Decade prior, you were winning championships. This decade, you've been to a couple championships, but you haven't won. What happens in the next 10 years? Jose likes to get rid of everybody. And like I've clearly pointed out, since Ron Frazier, we've had a decline. Since Don Shula, we've had a decline. Okay, so don't be so quick, But I'm just saying, it's just odd how it's kind of, heading in the Dolphin direction, the Miami Heat. And so it'll be interesting to see what the next 10 years hold now. If they can even match, will they even get to a couple finals over the next 10 years? And if they don't even get to a couple of finals in the next 10 years, you have your answer on how each decade is progressing or regressing, like the Miami Dolphins have regressed from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, 2010s to 2020s. It's disturbing, isn't it? It's really disturbing. So, yeah. All right. Trade Terry Rozier for Bruce Brown. Who would want Terry Rozier? Jimmy did the same junk in Philly. Yes, he does it in Minnesota and Chicago. He does it everywhere he's been, dude. I think the Warriors pick we got will be a top 18 pick. I hope so. Max Camacho says, peace, Jimmy. You were interesting while it lasted. Like the remaining roster myself, you can relax, Big O. Peace. The Killer Bees. Yeah, they got killed by John Riggins, the Killer Bees, and swatted by the Big T. Theismann. Get that out of your hands, Bo Kemper. 7 more years on Spo's contract. If they play their cards right, we should at the very least have 1 championship in that time span. Well, right now they will have none until they get 2 superstars. If they don't have 2 superstars, they won't win a championship, my brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure what you're seeing. You first have to have a champ. You first have to have stars in order to win. And they have no stars. I would love to agree with you. Okay. We're going to get Ira in about 15 minutes. Okay. So Ira Winderman, fresh from the locker rooms, fresh from writing his story. We'll get everything broken down by Ira. So share the link, spread the word, tell your friends, send it on social media. We need all the help we can get. Okay. So do your thing out there and support the platform however you can. By the way, we always tell you, and if you like this Heat hat or many other Heat hats, Dolphins, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami, Canes, our friends at Caneswear, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. I got this hat the last time I went, which was a very nice hat. I like it a lot. I ended up buying it. So you could go there and get anything and use our code BIG010 and you will get 10% off. Also, another way you can support the show, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. You can also use these QR codes to make a donation. Of course, you can do it on the super chat, but we encourage you to go to Venmo or PayPal or Cash App. Why? We get 100% of the donation. On super chat, these damn YouTube company takes 30% from Sean and myself. So that is not cool. That's all I can tell you. It's not cool. Okay. How long do you give Riley before he retires? I think within the next 5 years. I don't think he'll go past that. Where's Riley right now exactly in age, right? He is over the 75 mark, right? He should be in his late 70s, 79. So, but he looks great, bro. That's the thing. He's always taking care of himself. He looks fantastic. I'm going to go 4 or 5 years only because he takes care of himself and looks fantastic. He wants to win one more, but he needs stars. So let's be honest. You know what we got to hope for in the Heat Nation? We got to hope for Jovic or Ware to become a star. That's what we need. We need Jovic or Ware to become a star. And then with the picks you amass and cap space, you're able to purchase that other star because they're not coming here. Nobody comes here anymore. Nobody gives a shit about Miami. I don't know what's wrong with you people, but I don't know why you have this thing that you create like you think there's an importance here, overall. And it's just not. By the way, let me see. Barry Jackson says also in here, more on 3 players obtained, how players found out how they were in the trade in the middle of a game, and Jovic on the bittersweet emotions of losing his buddy Butler. My brother, man, I'm going to miss him for sure. That bag is really big. I'm happy for him, which, of course, that's all he wanted. So I retweeted Ira's article that Barry there, I think, is talking about Anthony Chang's article. And by the way, thank you, Hateful Steve, who is always a strong supporter of our freaking platform. He says, thanks for the late night show. Oh, better than listening to Stephen A. You're a braver man than I am, bro. You're listening to that guy? Wow. Woo. Yeah. Anyway. So, but thank you, my friend. Appreciate that, as always. Big O, what price did you first buy Caspa at 11 cents? I got in late. So now that I've been able to buy it at 7.9, 8.1, and I bought today at 9, and did it finally get under 9 cents? Let me see. 9011. So it's working its way under. Oh, there it is. 8981. I'm definitely going to buy some tonight again. I'm going to buy some in the 8 cent range here for sure. For sure. So every chance I get, I am I'm taking advantage and lowering my overall price. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing the other night when I was able to get it right on that shock dip that came in. I thought it was fantastic. So good luck to you, sir. Do your homework. George Garas, thanks for the show, Big O. Good listening to Ira also. Go Fins, Heat, Panthers, Canes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for tuning in. We got a bunch of great players that are young. I don't know if they're great, Max. We got a bunch of very interesting young players. I like them. I won't lie to you. I like the young players that they've got. But, I'm really into Ware, Jovic, really like those kids. But, they got a ways to go to prove to me that they're going to be stars. But they got some dog in them already. Okay? Got to toughen them up now. In the last 5 years, we got Tyreek, Messi, Suarez, Kachuk. No stars still come. Yeah, on the basketball side. But you got Suarez and Messi because you paid. You got Tyreek because you paid. You got Kachuk because you paid. The Heat, they don't have the poker chips to pay. It takes picks to acquire stars. They just don't come out and they're available outright free agency. No, dude, they know when they're going to become free agents, like De'Aaron Fox. A year from now or 2, you're not going to re-sign them. So that, okay, now we've got to move them. We've got to trade them. Well, how are you going to acquire them? Picks. But in football or in soccer, you pay a transfer fee, you pay a free agency. It happens. They do get to free agency, or you can trade like what the Dolphins did. I mean, it's a lot harder in basketball, and the Heat fail to do the things to put them in position to make these trades. That's the frustrating part for them. Okay? Should be getting Ira any minute now. Would you say Ware could turn into the next AD? That's a lot to say, bro. AD was already that guy coming out of college. Long, lanky, can handle the ball, shoot, do all those things. He was already super dynamic, where he can't put the ball on the floor like AD. AD didn't learn how to put the ball on the floor. AD was already able to put the ball on the floor. And you know? So that was something you saw from college, right from the get-go. He was multifaceted. It's like Wemby. Like when you watch Wemby, that he can do all kinds of shit, you know, that kind of stuff. That's some guys have that. Ware's not there yet. Where's raw? Jovic has a lot of skill set to him already naturally. Does it need to be refined? Yes, sir. But Ware is even more raw. He's got another level of, for him to get to the point to be AD, to be able to handle the ball and all that kind of stuff, that he's a ways away from that still, you know. But the kid works hard, so hopefully you've got a guy that's willing to, you know, improve his game. Did you grade the trade already, Big O? Yes, I'm happy that it finally happened. They had no choice, dude. There's no grades here. You got rid of the shit, and now you move on. What happened here? The New Orleans Pelicans have traded Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and 1 first-round pick and a second-round pick, says Shams Charania. Shams making another move. Let's see. Tyreek is the next loser to get lost from this city. Yeah, that's not going to happen, Castle. There's no chance. Okay. But, I mean, if you want to keep reading the stupid articles and all that because it's the off season and they've got nothing else to write about, you can go ahead. But, you know, it's kind of like the Durant thing this afternoon. You know, like it was never going to happen. It was never in the works. You never had any chance. There was never any realistic. They're stuck with Tyreek. So deal with it, bro. They shouldn't have guaranteed him the money, like I said last year. That's the problem. Let's see. What else? I don't know. Castle looks plus size model was a liar. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about now. Heat over the Sixers, 108-101. Tyler with 30 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 turnovers. So 7 was the number. Bam, 18 points, 8 of 16, 13 rebounds, 7 turnovers. Jovic, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 turnovers. Rozier had 20 points today, shot 3 of 7. Today, Scary Terry wasn't so scary for us. He was scary for the opponent, actually. Okay, normally he's just scary for us, but this time he was scary for the opponent, 3 of 7 from three-point range. Paul George was fantastic, bro. What a trade for Paul George, huh? What a move to bring Paul George to the Sixers. 32 minutes, 9 points. Tyrese Maxey went 11 of 28. Have you shot enough? 3 of 11 from three-point range. So, yeah, he had 31 points on 28 shots. 4 steals, by the way, and 5 assists. Friday, they've got Brooklyn. All right? Miami gets Wiggins in this deal. In 43 games this season, he's averaging 17.6 points, 4.6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 1.3 turnovers. So at least he does take care of the ball. It seems like maybe better than the guys on our team. So that helps out. And listen, Wiggins can play. You all know that. You've seen him. He's had some moments in his career. It's just a matter of, will he be the most consistent he's ever been at this point is the question. Okay. We get Ira any minute now. I'm going to drink a little bit here. Give me 1 minute. Let me rest the voice.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
We're celebrating a new year with new savings at Toyota of Hollywood, the official #1 volume Toyota dealer. Save big on a 24 Corolla, not $24,000, $17,988. Buy with 0% financing, 0 down. We're bringing you deals that strike fast and hard at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
All right. We are back. We are awaiting Ira Winderman. He is getting to his hotel room. Then he's gonna, set it up. Obviously, he's got to turn on his laptop. So you know how it is. It takes a couple of minutes for all of that to go. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon, like always. We'll be at Hialeah Park, starting off at 3:00 in the afternoon. So we'll be talking about all of this, I'm sure, and anything else that breaks. By the way, we are going to be on when the trading deadline ends. And, listen, I say trade Tyler Hero if you can. And if somebody can give you a couple picks and they need a shooter, and they think Tyler can help them out, and they're willing to do it, let's go. Would be really nice. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if there's anybody crazy enough to make a move for Tyler and offer something up, but that's a way that they can do it. All right, we promised you Ira Winderman, and it is time with our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report.
There's just one place where you could drive a new Acura ZDX for only $239 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us #1.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right, Ira. The soap opera is over.
Crazy.
Right? I mean, this was... out of all the years happening in the middle of a game, is this like a new one for you, by the way?
You know what? It is, but Big O, I think this really goes to a real problem that the league has. If the game's just supposed to matter and the main thing is supposed to be the main thing, then you can't have games around the trading deadline. This is a league that has given us a week off for the All-Star break. This is a week that takes breaks for in-season tournament and other things like that. And I just think you have to be off the night before the deadline, the day of the deadline, and the day after, because you're not full rosters. The Golden State Warriors are not who they're going to be. The Heat are not who they're going to be. This league has a 48-hour reporting rule. Give them 48 hours to get it done.
Okay. One of the greatest night in Heat history was on a trade night.
Oh, sure. Oh, the day after. It's actually the day after the Rex Chapman game.
Rex Chapman, they barely had was it with Tony something or whatever? He was like the last guy to be the 8th man or something.
Yes,
or
the guy they got from the Suns, drawing a blank right now, but yes, yeah.
Right? That somebody had to get there in time, so they had a roster.
They had the required guys. They went out. Rex Chapman hit shots. They had traded for Tim Hardaway, because I remember it was a back-to-back. We were in Philadelphia the night before, and they didn't know what they were going to do, but they had to put their team together. Really shows you why they should give it more time for this process, because it really is absolutely bananas. I mean, look at Golden State tonight. They lose to Utah. They don't know which way is up. They're just trying to find their way. The Heat found out at halftime, most of the players. Kevin Love revealed he found out from a fan sitting behind the bench and who went over the particulars with him. And here's the deal. Even after the game was over, some players weren't sure they still had a job because until the Heat can get rid of Kyle Anderson, they were afraid that he would have one player too many. It works out for now. They're fine and they can pull it off. So there still is more to be done. This trade is not done. That's why Eric Spoelstra couldn't talk about it. That's why even though we spoke to players, the players told us they shouldn't be talking about it. They were told not to. It's a very weird situation. It's just in football, you have your trading deadline in the middle of the week. I think it's usually a Monday, and you have or Tuesday, you have the whole run up to the next schedule before you can get it done. In other sports, it happens relatively late, in the season, or with baseball, there's a gazillion games, missing one or two doesn't matter. It's kind of crazy. And it's also something you really want to pause and think about the players and how they fit in. And instead, I got guys running back and forth in front of me all night. And still was a pretty entertaining game if I got to watch any of it.
Yeah, no, I get it. It was they were a little too loosey-goosey with the basketball there.
As they've been the last 2 nights now, exactly.
Yeah, I got to take care of the basketball a little bit better. We'll get to that stuff. That's the silliness right now. But, I mean, overall, I get it. It's kind of crazy, and I think what adds to it, see, the opposite thing of that Rex Chapman thing, and I was a beat guy in those days, and that was such a fun night because we were in the middle of watching them turn this franchise into a winner because Riley had just gotten here and all that kind of stuff, and he's kind of like, doing his magic early on in his early days. So it was kind of fun. Here, you've been through hell now. The team has been through hell. Eric Spoelstra, that poor man, has been through hell. And then you throw this hecticness on top of all of this. I think it's kind of all the layers all into one. You know what I'm saying?
There were a lot of smiles in that locker room.
Right.
There were a lot of players who for 6 weeks have said the absolute right things because, to use the Yiddish word, they were a bunch of mensches. They were a bunch of men. And they understood that you don't badmouth anyone ever, even if someone had maybe badmouthed you along the way, had said you weren't good enough, had said you weren't the teammates that he wanted. And I told some of the guys privately, I said, I really respect what you did. My job as a reporter is to try to bring out the truth. I didn't always feel I was bringing out the truth when you were saying the gratuitous things you said, but I respect you for the way you handled it and treated your fellow players and kept it in the locker room. But these guys, there was I'm glad they're staying over tonight in Philly, and they're going to take a bus up tomorrow to New York for the Brooklyn game. I don't want to say they're celebrating because that sounds really cold, doesn't it, Big O?
No. That sounds I understand their celebration because it's a burden. It's tough enough to play in a goddamn NBA season. You're playing at the highest level with the most talented people in the world. You've got a coach that wants the best out of you. And then you've got this whole distraction.
Independent contractor. That's what I called him. In a team sport, he was an independent contractor. That can work in some places. Hey, it worked with Michael Jordan Incorporated with his gambling and everything else that he did. I totally get all that. So certain players can get away with that because they're Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but carrying the franchise.
Right. He's Jimmy Butler. He's a very nice player, probably going to get into the Hall of Fame based on his credentials, but he's not going to be a top 10 all time, a top 15, a top 20, top 25, maybe probably not even top 50 all time, to be honest with you. Top 75, one of those guys, but he's a very nice player. And here's the deal, Big O. We do have to pause and step back for one reason. He made this franchise matter for all 5 years he was here. He made the Miami Heat at their low ebb after Dwayne was driven away and came back. After LeBron left, after Chris Bosh got sick, he provided something. Someone emailed me today and said, you know what? I never enjoyed Jimmy Butler. His style wasn't fun. And I said, that's BS. Because you know what's fun? What's fun is 2 NBA finals and 3 Eastern Conference finals and having the deep playoff runs. That's your fun. So let's not bastardize the situation.
No, he has a great run, and he had plenty of swag that came with it because a lot of defensive plays that came with it and clutch baskets and going to the hoop and going tough. When he wanted to play, it's fun. What's not fun is watching the 2.5 years of you refusing to give your effort in the regular season. That's the part that's not fun. And that's the part that's ended now. And on top of all of that, like you were just talking to the players and saying how they were professional and you got to ask them the questions, but you have to ask them the questions. But the worst part is they have to deal with these stupid questions when they have nothing to do with this shit. This is their mess. They didn't create it. They're not doing nothing. They're being professional, and they got to answer all these damn questions for a guy that's creating all the problems. So to them, these questions are useless because it has nothing to do with what they have to do on the court, the player they have to defend tonight, the player they have to prepare for the next day, the team they have to prepare for. None of this has to do with Jimmy Butler because
I totally agree. And you know what this comes down to? The phrase you and I hear all the time. We use it all the time in our Accurate Pembroke Pines report. This whole team stresses one thing, to keep the main thing the main thing.
Right.
For the last 6 weeks at least, and probably longer, the main thing couldn't be the main thing. And Eric Spoelstra and the PR staff and everyone could try to get you to move off of that. In the last 6 weeks, Tim Donovan, the very good PR guy for the Miami Heat, would walk in the interview room and he'd say, guys, we are not taking any questions on Jimmy Butler's suspension. Based on our lawyer's comments, we can't. It's an ongoing process. So they brought it out every game because they told you what you couldn't talk about. So it was there, and it literally was the elephant in the room. And now the elephant is heading cross country. And you know what? I'll guarantee you this, and we can reflect back on this. I don't know how much the Heat's going to win this season. I don't know how deep the Heat are going to go in the playoffs. But you know what? I think they're going to be fun. And I think it's going to be fun to watch the Jovic's grow, to watch the Kel'el Ware block shots he shouldn't, to wind up like tonight with 7 rebounds in the first 4 minutes, to see Bam Adebayo grow into that leader. What a mature guy he is. And to watch Tyler, boy wonder hero, absolutely flourish when the ball is in his hands and he can play as leading man. And tonight was a perfect example. Crappy performance in San Antonio. Crappy performance in Chicago. But what do the great ones do, Big O? They keep shooting. They persevere. They find a breakthrough. We saw that tonight. Because without Tyler Hero, there would be no W against the Sixers here in Philly.
Right. No, I'm with you. All right. So with everybody watching and going to be watching later and downloading, break down the trade, we all know, let's all be realistic. They couldn't ever max this trade out because he killed everything. So they didn't really have options. And hell, he's there now because the Warriors were dumb enough to give him that extension. So
and it's funny. It's funny. It wasn't about the money until as soon as he went there, it's about the money, and there's the money, and there's the key. And it was always about the money, and it was never about Eric Spoelstra didn't use him, and it was never about that they didn't surround him with quality players like he was promised by Pat Riley. It's always about the money. And you know what? I have no issue with that. If you want it to be about the money, just say it's about the money. He got the money that Pat Riley wasn't going to give. Not only that Pat Riley wasn't going to give, but that Orlando Alzagari wasn't going to give. So it's just easier for everyone because you had spoken about that. I think the only disappointment is, and this is sort of a Heat thing over the years, expectations rise for something else. And what were we talking about during the day today on Wednesday? Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant, Kevin Durant. Well, when you think you're getting Kevin Durant, you could shake your head. It was real.
Why do we do this? Why do we do this? You had no shot at him. That's unreal.
No, you had no, Big O. You had a 5% shot. You had an 8% shot, just like you did when you left OKC, just like he did when you left Golden State. But at least you got your foot in the door, and at least you looked into it. So here's the deal, Big O. Would the Heat not have been better off at least looking into it? No, you do your due diligence. That's all they did. That's all Windhorst and Shams and everyone heard. The Miami Heat are doing their due diligence. And God bless them if they didn't. So what did they get? They got a first-round pick. I'd rather it's not this year. I'd rather it was down the road so you can package picks. But you know what? There's a really good draft coming up. So there is that. And few people have hit on the draft as well consecutively as the Heat have the last 3 years with Jovic and Hawkins and Ware. So that's encouraging. Andrew Wiggins will show up and play every night. Andrew Wiggins will play winning basketball, and here's the deal. And I wrote about this in the story.
By the way, for a soft team, he'll add a little toughness because they.
And also, I wrote about it today. Yeah,
needs a little toughness. These youngins need to.
I agree.
Grow up a little bit, you know.
And I wrote about it that when you even look at tonight's victory over the 76ers, Duncan Robinson didn't make a shot. Haywood Highsmith scored 3 points. So you have 2 starters, God bless them, who are easily replaced. So you can have him. It's not a matter of, how do we redo the lineup now? Well, you play him however much you want. The Heat needed someone, and that's the deal. The Heat got better simply because Jimmy wasn't there, and Andrew Wiggins will be here. The irony, of course, that he was traded for Kevin Love at the very start of his career when the Cavs got that #1 overall pick. There was so much going on here. So it's fascinating. So look, they got something for nothing because Jimmy had become nothing. And one more point, Big O, and you mentioned this on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report. No longer is that option year of Jimmy Butler hanging over the Heat's head.
That's
no
why they had
longer
to make this trade. That's why they had to make. They had
we
to
talked
end
about it.
Rob, because
Folks, when you listen to us during the mornings, on Mondays and Tuesdays during the week, we've talked about it for weeks on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report that was the problem, that if the clock struck midnight at 3 p.m. tomorrow and Jimmy was still here, well, look, for a guy who's turned every screw he could so far, you knew he was going to turn that screw also and go,
Right.
$52 million. Now what are you going to do, Mickey Harrison? So the Heat got their way out of Dodge. They needed to. So you know what? Did the Heat get the best player in the deal? No. Did the Heat get the best draft capital they could have? No. But the Heat moved off of a problem. They created flexibility. And I still have faith in Andy Ellisberg and Pat Riley and Adam Simon that they know how to deal with flexibility and get better. So it was a good night for the Heat squared. They got rid of Jimmy. They got a W. They're back over 500. They're in 6th place. Sort of who they are.
Okay, and explain the first round situation because
it's going to happen this year. It's top.
Don't get in the playoffs.
It's top 10 protected this year. So Golden State most likely will wind up outside of the top 10 because when you get Jimmy Butler, you're playing for the playoffs. Yes. And I understand what Golden State did is they said we can't waste a year of Steph Curry's career. We can't tell him like they did at times with Dwayne Wade. Wait another year. We're going to build. We're going to be better. That's what Jimmy was worried about. So the Warriors are going to go for it. So basically, if there are 10 worst teams in the league, which there should be, the pick will be out of the top 10. So the Heat will probably wind up getting maybe a 13 or a 14 this year. Remember, folks, they got Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero with 13 and 14s. This is a very good draft. Plus, you have this. Let's say the Golden State pick is 15. Let's say the Heat's pick is 18. All of a sudden, you know the math. You've done the NFL draft also. It's only the math where 15 and 18 can equal 7. You know, we have to teach our kids about that. So it's more flexibility. It's another prospect. And here's the other part. If it's a quality prospect, then all of a sudden, you can put the package, quote unquote, the package together down the road. You're going to have Kalel. You're going to have Nico. You're going to have Hawkins. You're going to have this year's first-round pick. You're going to have attractive young players if the right whale comes along. Not the Jimmy whale, not the Durant whale, but the player you say, hey, this guy with Adebayo and Hero. So, yes, they're pushing the rock a little bit down the road, and that's fine because that's where they are right now. But it's not a bad deal. Is it a great deal? No. Does it knock your socks off? No. It is a get out of Dodge deal. That's what it is.
That's what it was. You had to do this deal, and that's why I love that they did the deal and they finally – and even they can draft. So maybe with that first rounder, you do something with it, and then it really becomes a real sweetener on the deal. If you can make that first rounder pay off, then you really got something really nice out of the deal. Now, 87-year-old PJ Tucker, will he even play? I know he's out at the end of the year.
You know what? If they can move the contract by tomorrow, they're going to try to move the Anderson to the Tucker contract. I don't think anyone will take it. I don't think they have the sweeteners, but they might. And that's why when I was in the locker room and like everyone was celebrating, I'm like, well, but what if they take Pelle Larsson and his big shot tonight and they take PJ Tucker and someone takes on the money because they want a kid? I know it's a kid you like also. So we're not done here. We might have to have another emergency.
Why don't you take those two sweeteners and, somebody desperately needs a shooter and, my idea, you do trade Tyler and you get 2 or 3 first round.
I don't think we're there. I think it's more you might trade Duncan. I thought when you talked about a shooter, but hey, it's the first step. And you know what? It's easier to do a lot of this in the offseason.
I know you can a Tyler one in the offseason, but I'm just wondering if there's a market. I worry about it.
You know what, Big O? I saw enough of the game today, and I watched Tyler Hero, and he outdueled mostly Tyrese Maxey. And if he can play at a Tyrese Maxey level, that's a pretty damn good player.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So you think even Duncan could be in play tomorrow?
I just think now it's about getting below the tax, getting that money back, getting flexibility. Hey, it's a business, so it's going to be a business also, and they have to take care of that. So, hey, still 3:00 tomorrow. The Heat showed they could be active. They have a lot of pieces they can put into play. I think there could be one more, I would call it market correction move, not a blockbuster, but just a little thing to get things in order. Yeah.
And why should they check you out leading up to the deadline at the South Florida Sun Sentinel and at Ira Heatbeat on Twitter?
Because for everyone who watched the Heat postgame show and transcribed the quotes and sent them out, there were people who had to be here on the ground. And Big O, you talk about this all the time, about support your local papers. Because if I wasn't there and Barry Jackson wasn't there from the Miami Herald, no one's going to go against the Heat orders and ask the players about the trade. Jason Jackson, God bless him, can't do that. He's paid by the team. That's why you support your local journalists. Because instead of sitting at home on TV and saying, oh, this person said that, it's who got the people to say that. And that means being out here with the frozen rain coming back right now, with the Uber driver telling me, which I don't think is legal, this is true, cash only. It doesn't sound right because I had to rush back and do the Acura Pembroke Pines report. That's why you support your local journalism, because your local journalists are out there getting the stuff you need, even if other people are going to be copying it elsewhere.
And I'm proud to say that we're about to complete 5 years on this platform. No platform or radio station locally has supported their local journalists and has had more insiders paid on this platform than anyone else, by the way, in the last 5 years. So proud to say that too. Ira, have a fantastic night, my friend. We will catch up next week.
But first, a fantastic beer. Good night, guys.
You got it.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Hell of a show. Hell of a show. Thank you all for hanging out here with us late at night. It is midnight, 12:09. Damn. That is awesome. What do we got here on the chat board? Wiggins will not be denied. Peace out. That's right. Heat philosophy needs to change. Yeah, well, they need to start getting some picks is what they need. Addition by subtraction, basically. Thank you for saying it, Ira. He had become nothing for them. That is true, no doubt. And that's why, at least for Rozier, you'll get a guy playing for you every night during the regular season. And I think that is extremely important. Stop trying to trade Hero. Keep the guy if he's playing the way he is. Okay, and at what point does he keep that going? All right, if he gets injured, okay, don't then tell me after, yeah, maybe you were right, okay, I'm just saying, it's all right. I got the same shit with X, with Jimmy Butler when I said 2 years ago, don't give him the extension. It's all good, bro. It's all good. All right, I love you all out there. Thank you for supporting the platform. Please hit the hell out of the like button, man. There was over 200 people most of the time and only 87 likes, so please hit the like button every time you're watching. And also, please support our Crypto Bro Show. Have a great night.